Coach Lacey here. I am going to show you how to use a digital food scale. The one I have is off of Amazon. I will link it for you. It's like $14 maybe, and it's a game changer. You have to have a digital food scale to accurately track. And why that is because volume measurements are so far off. Volume measurements are like these things. Your measuring cup, your tablespoon, teaspoon, these can be highly inaccurate, and I'll show you how in just a minute. So with macro tracking, we want to measure our food by weight and not volume. So I'm gonna show you just by some examples here of how off your measurements can be if you use tools like this or just by eyeballing it. Oh, let me grab a spoon of peanut butter or whatever as a tablespoon. And sometimes it's equivalent to 2 servings, sometimes more than that. And so if you're trying to lose weight, trying to gain muscle, and you're using macro tracking as a tool, you don't want to use these guys. You want to use the scale. That's going to be the most effective way to get the weight that you actually need to come close to your macros. So oats, peanut butter, almond butter, any nut butter, staple in a diet, right? I eat this like every single morning. It's my go-to. I love it. And so, for instance, you're gonna look at the nutrition facts back here, right? So 1 serving size of oats is a 1/2 cup, which is the volume measurement. And then 45 grams, sorry, this is backwards to y'all, is the weight measurement. We wanna go with the weight measurement, and I'm gonna show you why. So I have my 1/2 cup, which they're saying a 1/2 cup is the same as 45 grams on the bag, right? Let's just check it out. Okay, so I have my 1/2 cup measuring cup here, and I'm going to take the oats out. They're saying that 1/2 cup is equivalent to 45 grams on this bag. So I'm going to put my measuring cup on my scale, turn it on. I'm gonna switch it over to grams because that's what I want to measure it with. And then I'm gonna zero it out. So we're starting at 0. So anything that I put in this measuring cup will be the actual measurement. So I'm gonna put 1/2 cup, and I know a lot of people will like just dump it like this too. I'm gonna flatten it out here. And so it's not super far off, but it's 50 grams, and that's 5 grams. So when you are trying to lose weight and you are not tracking this, and that 5 grams of carbs and then 5 grams of fat and 4 grams of protein over every single meal or snack adds up to sometimes 200 to 500 calories, maybe even more a day, just from either eyeballing it or using the volume measuring stuff. So we don't want to do that, right? It's a good tool, but if you're really trying to lose weight and really trying to get portion sizes and track your macros, we don't want these. So I'm going to show you how to do this using the weight measurement, how we want you to do it when you're tracking macros so that we can be as accurate as possible. So you can do it 2 different ways. Some people will put the bowl on here, zero it out, and then take, as many oats as they want. The 45 grams is just the suggested serving size, right? So you're gonna go off of what your personal macro goals are. So if you don't have a high carb, macro goal, if it's lower, then you're going to just kind of decrease or increase as needed. So you may only be able to fit in 20 to 25 grams of carbs. So you don't have to go by this. So you'll scoop out whatever you need or whatever you want, and then you can make whatever else fit for the rest of the day. And then just change that in MyFitnessPal. So in MyFitnessPal, you'll go in and you can either type these type of oats in, whatever oats you're using, or you can scan this lovely barcode and it'll pull up, and it should, you always want to double check because there's different entries in there and some people have entered it wrong, or for whatever reason it may not be accurate. So just double check in MyFitnessPal, but you want to make sure that the calories and the macros on there are matching up to what you're actually eating. So so then you'll just change it in there. So for a serving, it'll have like 45 grams or half a cup. If you only ate, 20 grams, or if you can only have 20 grams, go ahead and change it in there to 20 grams and then track it that way. So I have my bowl on here, and then I zeroed it out and I'm on grams. They have different measurements, so be sure to change that. And then I'm just going to literally, you can do it like this. So that's 50 grams. So I'm going to, it's kind of more time consuming this way a little bit. Then you're just going to, okay, so there I hit 45. And so I'm done. Or you can do it this way. So I'm gonna dump this back in. I'm not even gonna use the bowl on the scale. I'm gonna zero that back out. I'm going to put my oats on the scale and zero it out again. So we're starting fresh, 0 grams. And then I'm just going to scoop out, and you can use a spoon, whatever. I'm just using this because I have it. And so I'll just scoop out until it says, it'll say like negative 44 because you're removing it, or whatever, negative whatever you're trying to get to. So that's 44, 45. Okay, so we're good. And then I'll just dump it in my bowl and it's already measured. So you can kind of do, you can use the bowl on there or just put the food that you're using right on there and then take it out and deduct it that way. I'm gonna show you another food that is highly, highly, highly important to track using a scale versus volume measurement. All the foods are important. We want you to all use a scale for measuring, but this one especially, you can go over 2 to 3 times the amount easily, which can put you over 500 to 1,000 calories in one day if you're not careful. So when it comes to losing weight, really staying on top of your tracking your macros for the day, you have to measure this out with the scale and not a volume measurement like this, or even a spoon, or just eyeballing, because guys, it is eye-opening when you actually see. So for the nutritional value on this, so it's saying 2 tablespoons, which is the volume measurement, equals 32 grams, which is scale measurement here, weight measurement. And so it has 16 grams of fat in it. And fats add up really quickly, guys. And if you're trying to lose weight, your fats that we set for you with your macros are probably not super high. So you really got to be careful with this, and you really have to weigh it. So again, you can put the jar of peanut butter, almond butter, whatever, they're all delicious, right? On the scale, zero it out, make sure it's on grams because that's what they're saying. And then I'm just gonna show you here real quick. So if you're just wanting 1 tablespoon, which is what I'm gonna show you here, they're saying that 2 tablespoons should be 32 grams. So if you're just doing 1 tablespoon, it'd be 16 grams, right? So I'm just gonna see if by using this actual tablespoon, what it comes out to. Should be 16, right? So if I use the tablespoon, kind of flatten it out there, eyeballing it, it says 22 grams, should be 16. So this is highly ineffective. This is gonna put you over. Same with if you, I don't wanna waste this. But same with if you use a spoon. A lot of people just put their spoon in there, right? Oh, that's about a tablespoon. Oh yeah, that looks like a tablespoon, right? Good, right? This is 37 grams. Over double what you should be having for a tablespoon by doing it the spoon method way, right? Let me show you what actual 16 grams is here, which is what you want for just a tablespoon. So I'm gonna zero it out again. I'm gonna zero it out. I had my spoon in there first. Okay, so. $15, $16. Okay, this is 16 grams of peanut butter. I don't know if y'all can tell the difference here. This is by measuring it, and this is by eyeballing it. I don't know if you can see the difference, but that's a lot. It's a lot of volume. It's a lot of difference. It's a lot of calories and a lot of fat. And if you're trying to lose weight, trying to make gains, and this is the method you're using, that's why it hasn't been working. So this is why this scale is highly effective. So if you take the 1 tablespoon out, or the 16 grams, which it would equate to, you would go into MyFitnessPal and log it in there. So you can either type in this, the brand that you're using, or again, there should be a barcode somewhere. There it is. Scan it in there. It should come up. Always, always, always check the nutrition facts in MyFitnessPal just to make sure that you're getting the right one, and then log however much you had. You may not even be able to have a full tablespoon, or you may want to be able to use, eat more fats throughout the day. So you might be able to just put like 10 grams of peanut butter or almond butter into your oatmeal or a smoothie or whatever you're eating, or just on a rice cake or something. And so you really want to make sure to kind of, balance it out throughout the day so that you're not over or under 1 macro. But this is just going to show you why we use the scale for macro tracking, and why weight measurement is so much more effective and necessary, other than, the volume measurement. Okay, one other thing that is super important to mention is raw versus cooked weighing. So you want to consistently do this, and obviously raw meat is going to weigh more than cooked meat, and they say that meat loses about 25% of weight after it's cooked. And just so you know, anytime you have the nutritional facts and values on the back of any meat package or anything like that, it's going, and also like your oatmeal, for example, it's going to give you the dry or raw values. And so if you cook it, the values are going to change, right? So what you can do is either cook it and make sure when you go into MyFitnessPal, you find exactly what you have and cooked. It'll say you can find like 93% ground turkey cooked, and then you can put like your, 200 grams of turkey or whatever you ate. But if you're doing it raw, you're going to want to change the values, and I will put a little mathematical equation thing that you can use for that. But so say for instance, you go out to eat and you get a chicken salad, and that chicken's cooked, obviously, and you weigh it, you bring it home and weigh it, or some people like myself, if I'm really tracking good, I have a little purse size food scale that I take with me. No shame in my game at all, and I will actually measure it on there. So say you have 6 ounces of chicken, you pull it off, you measure it. So that 6 ounces of cooked chicken is not the same as if you were to put in there, if you would just find the USDA chicken breast. You can go in there and find grilled chicken and put 6 ounces, because it probably takes that into account. If not, you can do a little mathematical equation, divide 6 by 0.75, and then it'll give you like 8 ounces of raw chicken. So you can put in 8 ounces of raw chicken. So you can use that. Or like I said, it's just might be easier to find that the particular meat that you're having, find it cooked in MyFitnessPal versus the raw, and kind of go off there if that's easier for you. But it does make a huge difference, guys. It can be like a 2 to 3 ounce difference if you're weighing and you're really trying to lose weight and stuff too. And same with this. This is not this, rice, any of that stuff. It's going to expand with water. So 2 ounces of cooked rice and 2 ounces of dry rice or noodles is going to be completely different. So make sure you're paying attention to that when you're weighing.